Hey Pathfinders, I'm Hans Decker, one of the reserve chaplains at RAF Croughton. I wanted to take a couple minutes to offer some words of encouragement to you all. Now, as a civilian, I study ancient wisdom texts, mostly taken from the Jewish and Christian Bibles. And in the present crisis, this book called Ecclesiastes has been on my mind. I like it because it strikes me as a kind of no BS look at life. And personally, I find it easier to listen to encouragement when the person talking is honest about how bad things can be too. The sentence I want to look at today pops up repeatedly in the book to highlight some of the key issues that the writer is struggling with. So this is how the book starts out. Vanity of vanities, says the teacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Now, to our ears, that word vanity can sound a bit old-fashioned, so we should probably unpack it. Vanity doesn't refer to being stuck up or self-important. Vanity here means pointlessness. When we talk about doing something in vain, we mean that the effort was wasted because things just didn't work out. In other words, the teacher is saying, everything is pointless. Yay, so far so good for our word of encouragement. Now here's the thing. Obviously, I think that there's more to this saying than this. But first, I think it is helpful to acknowledge sometimes we feel like this. Most of us work really hard chasing down our goals and our dreams. But sometimes stuff just doesn't work out. And sometimes, even when we achieve those things, we find it's not as satisfying as we had hoped. We all experience disappointments or empty promises. Now, I'm quite confident that 2020 did not turn out like you expected. Our plans were canceled, friendships have been put on hold, and a lot that we enjoy the most has been shut down. We can feel pretty helpless, and it often feels like there's not a whole lot that we can do to fix the problems. Nothing brings out the dreariness of our daily grind like a lockdown. Here's the thing though. On the one hand, this little passage of Ecclesiastes is acknowledging how frustrating those challenges that we face can seem to be. But he's also playing a little bit of a trick on us. This book was originally written in Hebrew, and that word translated vanity originally meant breath or mist. So you can get where the idea of pointlessness comes from. Sometimes everything that we work so hard for turns out to be a bunch of hot air. But he's actually playing with another idea too. That image of everything being a breath also means that stuff in this life doesn't last. And that can actually be a really good thing too. Sometimes when we're stuck in the middle of something overwhelming or frustrating, we get so caught up in the moment that our crisis can become all-consuming. But here the writer reminds us that our struggles are only temporary. Right now the lockdown seems endless, but we will reopen. The economy is teetering on the edge of uncertainty, but we will recover. We are lonely, but as the Queen kindly reminded us a few weeks ago, we will meet again. And so it's precisely because things don't last that we can and should still make plans, have hopes, and work hard for the future. Will everything work out the way that we want? No, probably not. But some things will. Some of our present difficulties will fade away, and it's our privilege to make the most of those new opportunities when they come. So I want to encourage you. It's fine to acknowledge how miserable things can be, but we should also recognize that these frustrations are temporary. Look past the present, because this too will fade away. Or to put a different spin on it, we feel the least need for hope when things seem the most certain. But it's precisely in the fog of uncertainty and dissatisfaction that our hope matters the most. And so with that in mind, let's set our sights high, work hard, and chase down those hopes, wherever it leads.